This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Ho ho ho! Happy holidays! It's me, Santa Karsten, and this is the first ever Karsten Runquist Christmas special. That means it's just like every other video, but this one has something to do with the holidays. There were a lot of great options this year that would be great for future Christmas specials, but today I wanted to get meta. I wanted to, in this Christmas special, talk about TV show Christmas specials. I have always thought that the Christmas episode of my favorite show was so exciting. I used to watch a lot of TV, cartoons specifically, so similar to a music playlist on shuffle, I'd often come back to the same episodes over and over again. But you'd never get that Christmas episode on any month other than December. It felt like a rare find that I often treated like a new episode, being that it's not something I got to watch often. But as I've grown older and have become more aware of what it is that I am watching, I've come to realize that regardless of the show, regardless of the characters, all these Christmas episodes have the same plot. When you first hear that, you're like, well, yeah, they all revolve around Christmas, so yeah, they're all going to be the same. But I'm here to say, why is that the case? There are tons of different things that come with the holidays that would make for good original TV episodes, but every show seems to follow this same formula. Now, they don't all necessarily follow it exactly. You know, this ain't the same as this, but the structure and character development runs the same throughout each episode. This is a topic I've really wanted to address, and when trying to figure out how to do it, I realized that there's no way I'm going to be able to talk about every single Christmas episode, nor is it possible for me to find and watch every single Christmas episode. So for this quote-unquote study, I've decided to take a Christmas episode from 3 completely different shows and prove that they are all at their core the same thing. These 3 shows that I have picked are SpongeBob, Friends, and because I just talked about it in another video, The Office. But Karsten, these are all comedies. Well, yeah, I've noticed that Christmas episodes usually happen in comedies, so you know what, that's kind of what we're gonna go with. Plus, they all are technically different types of comedy, and yeah, alright, I'll shut up now. Let's get into it. Step 1. Now, this first one is a bit subtle and small, but something I've realized about all these Christmas episodes is that they start with somebody setting up some sort of Christmas decoration. We'll start with SpongeBob. In the beginning of this episode, we find Sandy setting up some Christmas lights, only for it to be ruined shortly after by SpongeBob. In The Office, the episode kicks off with Michael bringing in a Christmas tree that is clearly too large for the office. And lastly, in Friends, we see something a bit different. Phoebe provides a skull. But the thing about this is that it's such a small and random and insignificant part of the episode that it almost feels like the writers felt as though they were forced to include it because, you know, they needed some sort of decoration to be set up. It's weird that this is always happening at the beginning of these episodes, so I was like, you know what, I gotta include it. This is a trait I don't fully understand because seriously, there are a lot of other ways to let the audience know it's the holiday episode without setting up decorations. I don't know. Step 2. A common thing I've seen a lot of these episodes do is explain a certain holiday tradition or just a whole holiday in general. In the cases of SpongeBob and Friends, they're explaining entire holidays. With SpongeBob, I understand. Being that it's a kids show, I guess it makes sense for some explanation for what Christmas is to be included. For those unfamiliar, SpongeBob doesn't know what Christmas is, hence his destruction of the decorations, so Sandy defines it for him. The episode later gets into more description as SpongeBob explains the holiday and its traditions to people all around town. With Friends, a big part of the episode is Ross's desire to teach Cole Sprouse about Hanukkah. This leads to Ross saying, or at least trying to say, what the meaning behind Hanukkah is, thus explaining it. Now, The Office is special, but still follows this rule. The Office doesn't have any children involved, so describing a holiday would definitely feel pointless, but it does come with the inclusion of a Secret Santa and Yankee Swap game, a fun holiday gift thing that Michael describes later in the episode. I understand that it's a bit of a stretch to call this an explanation, but I'm gonna count it. Step 3. Everybody always gets angry at each other. Now, I know what you're thinking. Conflict is, of course, necessary for any great story to succeed, regardless if it's a holiday special or not. But conflict doesn't always have to result in everyone splitting up, and that just always seems to be the case for these Christmas episodes. In all of these, there's always a scene where something goes wrong or a tradition is broken, and the group somehow, for whatever reason, splits up and everyone becomes independent and lonely on Christmas. In SpongeBob, everyone waits around for Santa after SpongeBob hypes him up, but sadly, Santa never comes. Following that, everyone in town gets upset and abandons SpongeBob, leaving him sad and alone. Next, we got The Office. The gang attempts to do Secret Santa only to have Michael ruin it by including an iPod as a gift, turning the game into a Yankee Swap. This obviously defeats the purpose of Secret Santa, as now people are getting gifts that weren't meant for them. Michael ends up offending Phyllis, everyone wants the iPod. It's a mess. It gets to a point where pretty much everyone ends up somewhat upset and splits up to do their own thing, leaving everyone alone and sad. And then we have Friends. Now Friends, being that its runtime is so brief, does manage to squeeze this moment in because what would be a holiday episode without it, but it lasts very briefly. It's when Cole Sprouse is being taught about Hanukkah by Ross the armadillo, when suddenly Chandler comes in wearing a Santa costume, causing Cole to lose interest in Ross immediately. This of course hurts Ross's feelings, as well as Chandler's, and the two of them for like 2 seconds end up alone and sad. So where do we go from here? The final step. Step 4. Step 4 is my favorite because it's literally like exactly the same for all of these episodes. Step 3 exists because of Step 4. Step 4 is when everyone comes together after being split up for a wholesome group ending, because being together is what Christmas is all about. Let's start with SpongeBob. Since our last thing, a bunch of stuff has happened where Squidward takes the role of Santa and saves Christmas. It ends with SpongeBob, some girl, and even Squidward coming together to celebrate the magic of the holidays. Now we got Friends. This one is the funniest to me because everyone didn't need to come back together, but again, the writers were like, well, this is the Christmas special, so like obviously we have to end it this way. By the end of it, you got the whole gang looking out the window celebrating the holidays together. And lastly, The Office, which in my opinion has the most wholesome ending. While it isn't shown, after everyone gets drunk out of their minds thanks to Michael, they decide to go to a bar as a group to celebrate. The best part? They invite Michael, someone who has been known to be left out of Office events. It's such a wholesome and pure moment that really proves how magical the holidays are. Aww. So yeah, notice a trend here? And this happens with tons of other shows out there. This is just 3. And I do want to emphasize that while I did tease the shows, I love the holidays, and these episodes are just tons of fun. I really have no problem with them. It's just fun to me that they're all kind of the same. Well anyways, I hope everyone has a good holiday season, and I'll see you next week with my top 10 films of 2018 list. Happy holidays! Wait, but before you head out though, I want to give a quick thank you to this week's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace, if you somehow don't already know, is a place where you can go to make a website to build your brand, progress your idea, whatever. They have everything you need to make your idea happen, whether that be for a blog, an online store, or a portfolio. They have a wide selection of award-winning designer templates that'll make your website look super cool and modern and slick. Everything good. Plus, if you ever have any questions or have any problems, no worries, they have 24-hour customer service. And the best part about it all is that if you go to squarespace.com/Karsten, you can get 10% off of your first purchase. There's really no reason for you not to give it a try, and I guarantee you're gonna love it. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out Squarespace, and I will see you guys in the next one.